Welcome to The Power and the Pain, where your past isn't your prison.
It's the fuel for your purpose.
I'm Greg Pihs, combat veteran, NLP trainer, and your guide to turn trauma into triumph. This is The Power and the Pain. Let's go. Welcome back to The Power and the Pain. You all good? You finishing that?
I just have to put do not disturb on so that we
Yeah. Welcome back, everyone. We got I brought another guest this week, Marisa Cali. Am I saying, is it?
Yes.
That is your real name?
Okay,
yes. Okay. I had to ask that. Okay. Because Marisa comes from Cali.
Yes.
And were you born in Cali?
Born and raised.
Okay.
Like Cali is my married name.
Oh, okay.
So I manifested that
name.
Yeah.
I love it. And then you've been out in Tennessee, was it 3 years?
It's been 5 years.
5.
August.
Okay, so it's been a little while. And I want to dive into, so obviously the guests, some people know you maybe, but plenty of my audience won't know who you are. Marisa is in the similar space. I'm going to say healing space. I'm going to use that word in that label of healing, whether it be to distractions that we have, experiences we had, trauma that we had. But your big thing is really helping people become more present, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, the best present is to be present. And
let's go. That was good. That was good.
I'm branded too. So really it came from a lot of work myself, where I realized that being digitally connected and always doing the things and, being on social media and scrolling and, working for yourself, you're constantly on. And it can affect your relationships. It can affect your friendships. It can, because you get burnt out and then you don't respond to people. And then you become a shell of what you are as a person because you're not present. And
this is good.
I definitely I think a lot of people have experienced it, but they're not taking the steps to be more present.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting because I named when I moved here, I reestablished my LLC and I named it BePresent because it was just something that I thought that I aligned with, but I didn't understand how much it would affect and change the trajectory of my business.
Yeah.
It's tattooed on me. I live it. Right. And it's really cool just to see the journey of it.
What do you think about, so I'm going to make a projection and then let me hear your thoughts on it. Most people, when we first start in business, at some level, we have to get over ourselves. We have to let go of the victim. We have to be the leader and we have to be on.
Yeah.
And this is what in the beginning, I'm going to suggest this is what allows our business to take off. But then the very next chapter, I think a lot of people don't realize what got you here is not what's going to get you there.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, it's just interesting because I was always on. I mean, that's why I was doing well in my business. But that always on also affected how I showed up in those businesses. Or when I was at my point of burnout, where I had taken all these projects on because I was always on, everyone was like, "Oh, we want to work with you. We want to work with you." But then it became where I was working too much. And too much is relative. It just depends on what works for you, what works for people. I hear it a lot in corporate. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't have time to meet, or I don't have this." And I feel for them because we, working for ourselves, we can create that time, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, we are building all the time, but if we decide, hey, we're going to go just hang out and not do anything, we can, but that could affect our business. However, I was doing some research for a proposal that I was sending out yesterday, and I already knew this, but I was like, there's so many studies that say that if you don't rest, you're not present.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you validate, like, I gotta just go, 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 the hustle mindset. You see all those reels and say, you're in hustle mode. Like, that doesn't align with me at all.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was the way you built your business successfully, is to hustle.
Yeah.
It's not that way.
Yeah,
Well, at
yeah,
least
yeah.
not for me. It just depends on your design, but I think a lot of people are pushed that message and then they adopt it and then they either give up or they're poor for a long time.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
In life and in the bank account, not just money wise,
I'm a big I share the same. To each their own, and you gotta drink from the faucet that provides, that you're able to digest from. But yeah, I'm huge on, like, it's not about hustle harder.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's kind of like that, like, back and forth, which I love talking about. The hustle people will suggest that motivation doesn't last. It's all about discipline. And then on the far side, the law of attraction people would suggest, like, oh, motivation. It's somewhere in the middle, but the way the metaphor I use to relate it is like the motivation is the kindling wood. Like, it's gonna light up right away, but I'm not gonna be able to stay warm all night.
Yeah.
The discipline is the big logs. It'll last all night, but without kindling wood, I'll be up all night trying to light it.
Right. Yeah.
Like, we got to bring both together. We got to figure out, like, what is, like, our motivation is, like, what's in it for us, really.
Yeah.
What's that win at the end? And then we have to do the things, there's going to be opportunities to face challenges along the way. So what?
Right. Well, and I think that I know we're talking from a perspective of being solo owners, solo operators. So we have our own accountability. We have to manage it. But I think a lot of people in the corporate world also need this for their teams. Not just the leader leading the team, but also the individual. Like, we talk about culture, we talk about healthy workplace. What steps are people taking to, like, make sure that their people are healthy for the mission? Not to, like, make sure they stay there for a long time. Well, obviously you want that. We don't want turnover and stuff like that. But are you caring for the people that you lead? In that sense, are you giving them the ability to be aligned with everything in the business?
What are your thoughts? You spoke on turnover. What are your thoughts on, like, I have a opinion on turnover. Like, if so, in a business, I'm going to suggest, like, 90% of the people that have been there longer than 2 years have already checked out. And if we're helping them grow, why would they be staying with us? Like, we should be almost. Now, 2 years may be too short. Maybe some people want 5 or 10 years. And some of your people are going to stay with you forever.
Yeah.
And ever.
Yeah.
But in theory, like, if we're growing them, they're going to outgrow this position.
Yeah.
And I think, like, as a business owner, my thoughts are, like, I go into things with that mindset. Like, when I used to have a real estate team, and, like, when I'm bringing people in, I'm always like, hey, there's a time where you're going to outgrow this.
Yes.
Communicate with me. I want to help you launch your thing, and you're going to give me the next person that's going to fill your seat.
Right. Yeah. No, I think we talked about this one of our first conversations about bringing people into our circle, inspiring them enough to be able to do it out on their own, because we are, we're the guide, right? We're going to give you the tools and then you take that and go. I think a lot of people are operating with the scarcity mindset, and they think that they won't be able to find the best people. And they put these parameters and walls on the people that they have on their team, and they just decide, okay, well, I'm just going to find someone new. But they're not thinking, well, what did I do to cause that?
Well said.
So it's interesting because I've been a solo operator for so long, but I can look from the outside and see, dang, they're burnt out, or, like, they're not aligned. And that's kind of the whole reason why I'm, like, preaching, like, wellness, digital wellness, and communication and being present and stuff, because the skills and the tasks will always be there. But what about the person?
Absolutely. We need that place to ground ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
What is your what does grounding look like? Or I use the word grounding, but being present, what does that look like for you? daily, weekly, quarterly, things like that?
Yeah. It's a constant reminder. I have an app on my phone that says, are you present? And that's just a daily reminder. To pop up a little thing.
Let's
And
go. Yeah.
it's habits, that what's that thing? Like you do a habit for like 3 days or something, and it becomes something, just like working out. I don't know the actual term, but you all know it.
Right.
But just implementing these small things that will help you be more present. So daily, those are the little reminders.
The reminder is huge.
Yeah.
When we are conditioned, humans, we are conditioned.
Yes.
A reminder is a form, like if we allow ourselves to do it, there will be a time where you forget to need the reminder.
Yes.
We'll
Right.
condition ourselves to be present. That's huge.
And I also have this device. It's called the Brick. It's a thing that you can buy. It's basically living on my fridge, and if I tap the brick, it blocks the distracting apps that I've chosen. So
Let's go.
I've chosen and you have those apps on your phone, like you have focus mode and well-being, like they've implemented. I mean, these are things that they've implemented. They know that people need them. So why did these phones put them in their phone, in their operating system? It's because people need them.
Yeah.
But now the device actually helps me better because it's on the kitchen, on the fridge. If I'm like in the bedroom or like in my office and I click on an app that's distracting, it says, sorry, you're distracting. Like,
let's go.
I have to get up and go and unbrick my device in order to open that app.
Yeah.
So like sometimes when I know that I'm overwhelmed for the day or like I'm ready to like really decompress and be present, I tap and I don't even think about it. I'm just going to tap. How many times do I press that app that's distracting while I'm bricked? It says, sorry, it's distracting. So it's like 10 or 11 times. This is by habit of me opening
not
that
even
app.
thinking about it. Yep.
And it becomes something where I'm not opening it at all.
That's powerful.
And that's like a daily, once in a while thing if I feel overwhelmed. I create space in my calendar where I'm more present. And like, Fridays are my day. Everyone that has met me knows that Fridays are my day where I can just do whatever, like whatever comes up on the thing. And I don't schedule meetings. I try not to do client meetings. Sometimes they have to be on Friday, but that's to me being present because I'm just open to whatever is happening. But it just filters into a lot of aspects of my life.
What was the if there was like what was the to say moment? It may not have been just one moment, but where was the shift of like I need more presence, and what was the start of that for you? How did you start creating that? Yeah.
It's hard to say what moment it was.
Yeah.
In 2019 is when I started doing some personal work. And I was at the point of really succeeding in my I was doing B2B marketing, content marketing, and I'm still doing some of that. That's kind of where the whole like alignment and presence comes in. And I got a contract with a client, and it was one of my first like pretty successful like retainer clients. But I basically self-sabotaged it. And I realized that I was pushing so hard just to get that dollar amount. And then it was like I was not present with my life. I was present for like the money. Like I was chasing that instead of like just allowing it to be in my life. And so it's kind of, it was a wake-up call for me to realize, hey, my like this is not, doesn't feel right. Like I'm not present with my husband. I wasn't present with my family. I was just really focused on hustle. And then I finally got it, but then I self-sabotaged it. It was almost like I was cool in the like hustle mode.
Right.
Like that felt comfortable.
It was the chase.
Yeah.
It was the chase more than the have.
But it wasn't deep down in my soul, didn't like it because obviously I self-sabotaged it. I didn't believe.
Well, it's almost like in theory here, like as soon as you had it, it's like, shit, I can't do that thing I was doing because it like I tell people all the time, I am the two most powerful words. unless you're sure you're not in the future, the only way to talk about your future is I am.
Yeah.
So like people that say, well, I want to make money, I need money. Like this is like you're
Mhm.
confessing to the universe for the universe to provide you with the situation for you to have desire, which
Yeah.
has to have lack.
Yes. Right.
There's never abundance. And I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I need more of that.
Mhm.
Right, right.
Yeah, like, it's interesting because just changing your wording can totally change your trajectory of everything. It's like, if I want, or in my belief, truly deep down, I have no wants or needs because
Absolutely.
I have everything I ever
Everything I
need.
need.
And when
Absolutely.
you're wanting, "I need this, I want that," like, it's completely distracting from what you are in that moment, at that moment, right
Mhm.
then and there.
Mhm.
I'm worthy. I'm worthy of everything. So I know that.
That's right.
Um, and it's not, I don't say it's like a coincidence or it's interesting or it's funny. I'm like, I know that that's happened because of what I've changed and how I say it.
Have you ever read any Neville Goddard stuff? If not, doesn't
No.
matter. Weird character. I say weird character. I mean, not much weirder than I am, I guess, but
We are a little woo woo, witchy, good witchy.
um, but the idea that, and I live this, I believe this, it works incredible for me. Like when I set goals, I'll set my goals that'll say it is and the date, the time, the place, and I have.
Mm, nice.
And then inside, like that's how I'm wording it. And that's the reminder for myself. And then inside is the whole way there. Like I I can set a path, a straight line path. That's probably not how we're getting there. Okay. But I
Yeah.
could set the straight line path. But the whole way there, whatever the zigzags exist,
Mhm.
in my mind, it's because this is where I am going. Like this is
Yeah.
already done and I'm crossing through this.
Mhm.
But if I let my mind think that, oh my gosh, I want this, like when I get knocked off path, I think that like something's wrong. I
Yeah.
really am working really hard for this. Whereas like when I'm off path, I'm like, well, however I get there is irrelevant because I passed this gas station on the way.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's important to understand that that does exist. So, like, when you say, I want to get to that point and you go through the zigzag, you're still going through it. And I want to make sure it's said because people think that you set something and you just automatically get to that point. No, you definitely go through the zigzag, but it's important to have other people in your life that you've expressed where you need to go so they can hold you accountable or check in with you about certain things and knock you back into that, oh my gosh, I just like went in my loop. Like,
The loop.
it's like, oh my gosh, but if you don't express that, if you're hiding your goals or if you're hiding your intention, I don't really like the word goals because it's got a negative what is your 5-year goal? I was like, dude, 5 years ago I didn't even know I was going to be in Tennessee. So like,
Mhm.
well, I think I did. Yeah. No, May is when we decided. So it's 5 years. Um, but intentions. My intention is to get to that point. How it happens, it doesn't matter. That's future. I'm right here right now. Right? And but if I express that to you, then you know to reflect that back to me when I'm in my loop or I'm in,
It's huge.
my, I'm not having a great day. Well, you can remind me of where I need to go, right? And having those people where you're vulnerable because you're saying things that like are your deepest intentions, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting to
Mhm.
have those people now more present in my life because I've said, "Oh no, I want to have meaningful conversations. I want to have intentions behind a podcast interview or, a meet up at a coffee shop."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I love the idea you talked about. That was huge for me on my journey for like roughly, it was a little less than, but roughly for 10 years, I was like a hermit crab and I read tons of books and I learned a bunch of wisdom and my life was getting better each year, but like 1 inch at a time. And the thing that changed everything really was allowing myself to get involved with community.
Mm,
That really changed things. Like I was doing good, but like slowly,
yeah.
when you get in community, it's so and having that tribe, I use the word tribe, like
Yeah.
having that tribe that everyone's on the same They may have different goals, intent, but we're all on the same path,
Mhm.
and all of us are human, so all of us will loop.
Yes. Right, right. And no, like someone's gonna loop on one day where they're not there, right? And they need that mirror back, like, to show them, wait, no, you're over here because you've already expressed it to them. They've seen it in you. You're just not, you're clouded by something else. That's
And having that tribe, I mean, this is the way how it feels for me.
Mhm.
Having that tribe, like it feels good. We are humans, and depending on what our traumas and experiences are, we want to defend ourselves for survival. So when things are said to us, we want to defend ourselves. It's just so natural.
Mhm.
But when we have this tribe and we know that, like, okay, Tom, Bob, Marissa's checking me, sharing with me, loving on me today, like there's this immediate gratitude and like grounding and like, I'm gonna be there for you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Mhm.
Verse like, oh my gosh, you're coming after me,
Yeah. Well, and I think that, a lot of people talk about community over competition, but a lot of people don't practice it. It's very much like, what's in it for me? I see that a lot with and it's held me back from reaching out to like new communities because I'm like, oh man, like my gifts are my gifts. And like, I don't know if like everyone, can handle this woo woo stuff that I talk about, but we're naturally like wanting that
Mhm,
in our soul. Like
mhm,
that's how we're made. Like
mhm.
everyone, even before all of the things that we have going on right now, people like lived on the farm and they like walked down to their neighbors and they borrowed stuff and it was like that's what we're yearning for. And I think we also have to remember that it's yes, it's in person. Like I'm here meeting with you and we've also had a conversation on the phone this week, but it can also be online. And I
Mhm.
think, going back to being present, it's making sure you find those people that you can be online with or like have a WhatsApp call or like a Zoom call if you are open to it. Like you have to be open to the community.
100%.
If you're not with the walls, then it's not going to be
Yeah.
good, fruitful for you.
Yeah, yeah, you'll block it off for sure.
Mhm.
But so many people are the ones that aren't, obviously everyone's allowed to be where they are, but
Yeah.
there's so many people as you in the beginning, like I'm suggesting they don't even realize it, but so many people are begging for this right now and like want
Yeah.
it and truly want it.
Mhm.
They're not aware of what it is, but they're like,
Right.
there's something and I want it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the awareness is the biggest thing because I think a lot of people can be aware of what they want or how they're acting, but it's kind of scary
Yeah.
because you're open.
Very, very.
You're open, you're vulnerable, right? But then you're also aware and you can change your mindset or change your environment to
And the
make it
the
work.
first like the first sip out of the glass metaphorically is it can feel like I remember it feeling like, and anytime I loop, if you will, if I loop long enough, it's like the first piece is like, oh shit, it was me the whole time. So
Yeah.
like that piece, like it doesn't suck, but like it seems like it sucks, but like it immediately, I told like immediately, like as soon as it's like, oh, it was me, immediately empowerment.
Yeah.
Oh, it's me.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
got this.
Yeah.
If I did that, I can do the, I
Right.
created it. I'm creating.
I want to touch a bit on the loop because I think if
Please.
people don't know, okay, so like there's the feedback loop where you just constantly give yourself feedback or get feedback, and then you're like, okay, you're stuck in the loop, right? And you're constantly, well, that's not what it is. Wait, what? And it's just like a loop, right? There's also the negativity loop where you thought something negative or something negative happened to you and now you're like, "Oh, it's me, like I'm the problem." And then it's a loop. It just keeps going and around and around.
Mhm.
So it's interesting to be aware of that more and more as you do more work on yourself and you're more present because you can easily snap out of the loop because "Oh, I'm in the loop." Right?
A
I'm
hundred.
in that negative and um don't beat yourself up for getting into it. I think a lot of people
Well
are, "Oh,
said.
man, like, I'm just, like, in the loop. I'm tied up to myself," and stuff like that, and it's like, it's all good. Like, just snap out of it.
Well said. I'm a big believer on like this journey is going to take much more grace than you ever imagined.
Mm, Grace.
for yourself and others.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when you start, that's another thing, like speaking for myself, I talk about judgment a lot. I'm a great judger.
We all are. We
I'm
all
like
are.
a really good once you start getting your shit together, it becomes easy to start, oh, well, they're not doing it.
Oh, yes.
They're not doing the thing.
Yes. And I think it's very, I think one of the things that I've had to learn is understanding that that's their journey and they have to go through it.
Let's go.
They're
allowed to be right there.
Yeah.
I have been right there.
Yeah. And I think when you start pointing and fingers and saying, oh, well, you're not there, or you're not present, or you're not aware of it takes you away from yourself.
You're immediately not present.
Yeah.
You're immediately not present. Yep.
So it's, just awareness is the key, I think, just being more aware. Like, I'm much more, like, maybe I wasn't as aware 6 years ago when I started doing my work, but now it's like, oh my gosh, like, oh, I'm in it.
Right.
And sometimes it lasts sometimes it lasts 3 days.
Right. 100%.
I'm stuck on something, and then I need that little like spark for someone to say, to use like the fire stuff that you do. I'm like, oh, I stepped on a piece of coal. Okay, now I'm out of it.
Right.
And that could be anything.
100%. 100%. I think a lot of it too, like when something that I've identified for myself, I mean others, but for myself, we'll speak of when I'm a flag for me, to say a red flag, like a oh, we're in the wrong place, like something that I use, because I'm speaking for myself, but and I'm projecting for everyone, we unconsciously drift over and over and over and over again, nonstop. Like it's so presence is like this daily thing of realizing that I did just drift. Okay. Yeah. If we will. Okay. So like the mind will just, and because of that, we don't realize when we drifted.
Yeah.
So like we don't, and because of our cognitive bias, we kind of like ourselves. We think that we're doing the right thing. So like I've set up these flags, if you will, to like cue myself in. Oh, we're in the wrong room. We're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
And so a big thing is like when I'm applying meaning to things, which anything in the world, it requires us to apply meaning. Mm-hmm. So, and we I'm going to suggest like we can't live without applying meaning. So,
yeah.
Okay. But if things are negative or down, or I'm not getting my way, I immediately check what meaning did I apply to it, because the situation is data without meaning.
Right.
And this is like a cue for me to like, okay, fine. Then what's the data? And this starts bringing me back into presence of like, here's all the literal facts. Like Tina came in and she smirked at me. Well, she walked in the room, her face moved.
Yeah.
Like these are like data facts, but it just brings me back, like in that moment, it forces me like, what did literally just happen?
Right.
Or what literally is happening?
What is happening without bias also? Like, what are the facts? And I think that's a good point to say that, in any moment when you're trying to get back to the present moment, is to think about things that you're presented with is just information.
Just information.
It's just information. Like you don't, like you said, it's facts. It's Tina walked into the room and her face changed. But it's not, it's like, we don't know what's going on with Tina.
No clue.
And we could ask, if depending on, the relationship or whatever, but we don't need to assume that she's got something going on with me because her face smirked. Right. That's a whole, then we're now in that story loop or feedback loop.
100%, because we have to validate, like, and it's so quick. It happens. Like we have to validate it to ourselves. So our RAS, or reticular active, a literal part of our brain, will start showing us. It'll like cue into like, oh yeah, she kind of shut the door quickly too. Oh, you know what? She's not looking at me. Our brain will then just, here's all the evidence that supports what you just said.
Yeah.
We're like, in the loop.
Oh, she hates me. Oh my gosh. What's wrong? What did I do?
We're in the loop. We're running.
Yeah.
I was thinking earlier when we talked about like the zigzag and like, it's not to say it won't happen, but here's the catch. we are the ones that apply the meaning to the zigzag.
Yes.
Oh, it's hard. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, it's a bit. No, it just is. If it goes this way, and the whole time it just is, and I just am.
Yes, it just is. Yeah, I think there's definitely lots of meaning to our words and our actions. And obviously they are there. That's how we're wired, but it just is.
Let's go.
Like I've for the longest time, and maybe to make it not as woo woo so people can understand it, is like, okay, you think about the weather, right? It's cloudy, it's sunny, but a lot of times people associate their feeling based on what the weather is.
Mhm.
So, oh, I'm lazy, or I'm like not lazy, I'm more relaxed when it's cloudy, or I want to sleep in.
Yeah.
But then they're attached to the cloudy, right? So it's like, oh, like instead of just thinking, all right, it's cloudy. Well, that doesn't affect me. It shouldn't necessarily affect. You're feeling relaxed because maybe it's your rest day, not because it's cloudy. And I think a lot of times people are like, "Oh, well, it's sunny. I'm in a great mood." Well, great. But that has nothing necessarily to do with the weather,
Well
right?
said,
And
yeah.
I mean, that's an easy way to explain, like, that's something and then you are something else.
Let's go.
It's not directly related.
Let's go. My buddy
I
told
don't
me
know,
one
is that
time.
too woo-woo? Or
No,
like
well,
more simple to understand?
my buddy shared with me one time, like a retreat that he had went to, or something of that nature, and they went through an entire day. And I say an entire day. When you first hear, it's like, oh, it's just one day. Well, try it. Everything they did consciously, they had to detach all meaning.
Yeah.
Okay, it sounds easy, but no meaning to hugging your kids,
Yeah.
no meaning to making dinner, no meaning to nothing. Okay, but we can do it. Like,
Yeah.
some people, I'm not doing. Look, don't. Okay,
Yeah.
but we can do it. And in that moment, we realize that we just are.
Yeah.
Now, the next day, they had to attach meaning to absolutely everything they did, which then cues you into like, oh, like
Yeah.
yesterday felt a lot different than today. Not that I only want yesterday or only want today, but I'm in control of how I balance these two.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy, because I think we tried to attach so much meaning to like one small thing. Like if you have a road rage incident, it's like now it's like affected your whole day. You're like, well, what if it just is then that, and then
Let's go.
I go to the next stoplight and it's different.
Let's go.
It's
Let's go.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's like doing this. I guess I want to talk about, if you are not aware, what would you think is a moment where you could say intentionally get out of that loop, or be more aware, like be more present? How are you more present?
Great question. Like, two things come to mind. Day to day right now, the hands down, the single biggest thing for me, hands down, like I give the biggest attribute to, is meditating.
Yeah.
Now, like, I've only meditated, I don't know if it's been 5 years now, which seems like a while, but like never before in my life.
Yeah.
And for the main part, my goal is to meditate every day. Okay. Sometimes we miss a day, we miss a week. Okay. But I noticed the difference.
Yeah.
All this is meditation. It, like, we will drift.
Yes.
If once a day I have this place that I come all the way, like I guaranteed, like I am coming all the way back to now, then I can never drift more than one day at a time, except for when I don't meditate for a week.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've meditated, but yeah, no, it's I think before I started meditating, it was probably about 7 years now when I started. There's no way I can. My brain's too crazy. It's going all like, this is a story I told myself.
Yeah.
Obviously. So I didn't start it, and then I finally did it, and yeah, those stories still come. My brain still goes crazy. But as you do it more, now 7 years later, most of the time when I meditate now, I fall asleep. And that's a 10-minute meditation. Like, imagine if you could just fall asleep. You're so now, like, and I don't care if I fall asleep. I'm like, maybe I'm rested. I need to rest. But I get so into the now, like you said, that my brain is so rested that I fall asleep.
Yeah.
And this could be I've done meditation in a pool. Like
Yeah,
like
yeah,
where
yeah,
I
yeah.
was just like chilling, floating in a pool. Luckily, like it was not the deep end because I could have like
Yeah,
dipped
yeah,
in
yeah,
and
yeah.
like, but it was like I was so present with the meditate, like just closing my eyes and like breathing. In that sense, usually it's guided meditation that I do, but that is a testament to like continuing to do it
Yeah.
and not just thinking, oh, that first time where I had all those thoughts running through my head while I was listening to the person. Maybe I wasn't listening to the person because I wasn't, fully present, but it is a practice.
I
You
when
just
I
got to
s-
start.
when I started meditating, and for everyone, like meditation can seem, if you're not like run with it, it can seem very daunting before.
Mhm.
And when I first started meditating, I do listen to guided stuff, but like when I first started, I was like, I was like, I want to be able to do what like these like
Mhm.
monks are doing, if you will. I don't know, like,
Yeah.
and so I just started like sitting in silence and trying to clear my thoughts. And in the beginning, for sure, 30 seconds was hard. I could not make it to 3 minutes. Like I fought
Yeah.
with myself so hard. I was like, and of course, then you're like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I didn't do any training. Never in my life have I done any training for meditation, but I reached out to a buddy, a mentor, I guess you would say. And they shared something with like picking a word. So a lot of times I use the word one, or sometimes I'll do the Om chant.
Mhm.
And like one, I got that one from Wayne Dyer, like everything is one, we're all connected.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then when we're meditating, like our mind will like, um I don't know who had the ticker, but pretty unanimously we think we have about 86,000 thoughts a day, or somewhere right around there. I don't know
Mm.
who ticked that out, but that's a
Yeah.
lot of thoughts.
Yeah.
And so our mind cannot be in the absence of thought.
Yeah.
So we don't have to think about something and it'll just feed the next thought. It's pretty neurotic if we actually ever get present with ourselves. Like it's weird. Like it'll just
Yeah.
feed. Okay. So that will happen. And like this mentor, it helped me like cue me in, like that's going to happen.
Mhm.
So don't think you're stopping that from happening.
Right.
So don't
Mhm.
stop that from happening. I was trying to stop it from happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the big thing he shared with me is just become an observer of it, and to
Yeah.
make sure that you're present at any given time when you think about like you, because the thought, you'll be in the zone when I'm meditating, you'll be in the zone. And then you're like, wait, where am I? What's going on? And that for me is one. And whatever thoughts happen, I'm like,
Wow.
one.
Yeah.
And I'm now controlling the mind, and I'm not trying to stop the rhythm that
Yeah.
happens.
Mhm.
So the rhythm is taking place and I'm outside of it,
Yeah. Mhm.
because like day to day,
Right.
everything's taking place and I got to be in the now outside of it.
Right. Yeah. No, and I think, well, when we say meditation, a lot of people are not cool with wanting to do it because of its origins and stuff like that, but it could be prayer. I mean, it could be a
Beautiful.
quiet
Beautiful.
time. I mean, it's the same thing. It's
Beautiful.
quiet. One of the ways that I've meditated is, you know, we live we both live a little bit further away from Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
But that drive in, I don't put the radio on or podcast. I've got audiobooks I need to read. There's so much stuff is on my list, but I leave it quiet because what do I get to do? I get to be alone with my thoughts, but also present and watching the cars in front of me, make sure I
Yeah.
don't get in an accident. But like there's, ways to be meditative without the guided thing if you feel that might be too further away from your spiritual belief.
Another one that I would suggest, I do a lot of audiobooks,
Mhm.
and I read probably less than 10 a year physically, a lot of
Mhm.
audio. But just reading a book, I don't care that you take in the content or not. Sit down and read a book and just keep reading the next word and flipping the page. You are now in a form of meditation.
Yeah,
You are
right.
now being present.
Yes.
And don't even if you don't retain what was in the book, you will. But even if you don't retain what was in
Yeah.
the book, it doesn't matter. Just the act of, for 30 minutes, I just read the next word on the page and I do nothing else.
Yeah, right. And those are, I mean, I walk my dogs in the middle of the day and sometimes I just don't have a podcast or song or what, and I'm just walking them thinking about the sky, and like I think a lot of people don't create those times. And it's a 20-minute walk. I mean, it's not like this crazy big long, I don't have time. Well, okay. Find some small time. I'm sure you can.
Any moment in time, if you can, during the day, realize that you are in existence outside of everything else.
Yeah.
Have you done, I forget the year, but this would be like 2014 maybe. I read Eckhart Tolle's, maybe 13, The Power of Now.
Yes.
And
I've read it 3 times.
Okay, it's good.
And each time is different.
Of course,
because of how you change. No, that the way he speaks and how you retain that information. I actually listened to it on a drive from Palm Springs when I was living in California all the way back home to San Diego. It was the best. I mean, it was like you're in nature, driving, scenic, and like listening to him. And The Power of Now is like, whoo,
yeah.
That's a really good book.
I remember, I think it was like 13, and I was driving and I needed to make a right, and I was one lane too far to the left, didn't realize it, and boom, I have to go straight through this intersection. There's a median. I don't know how far up I'm gonna have to go to turn around. Then I'm also gonna have to be making a left, and I had to be somewhere at a time. And so I'm like, oh, I'm going through. I'm like, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And the book, it's audiobook and it's playing in the moment. And I am 13 years prior to where I am now. So,
yeah, right.
So, and so I think I'm like, all right, I got to do this thing. I'm like, okay, let's be present right now. What's going on right now? And I'm like, well, I fucking missed. I'm talking to myself literally. I'm like, well, I fucking missed the turn.
Yeah.
And immediately, like, call it God, whatever you believe in, right? Immediately there was like that. No one else is in the vehicle. And immediately there was like, no, that was in the past.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And I was
Yeah.
like, right now, I'm driving on a clear road. It's a beautiful day. I'm going to turn. Oh, wait, that's in the future. No, right now, I'm driving down the road and it's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
That was a really cool experience. Yeah.
Oh, man. The looking into the past and the future, that's a very good example because I've switched that as well because I'm so proud of being on time. I love it. I'm like, yeah, but it's so interesting because I've released that hold that I had on myself, like pressuring myself to be on time because I'm always on time, right? Like, and I released that, but I'm still on time because I've set those intentions.
Yes.
I will be on time. And even if I'm late, I'm like, today I got into town like a little early, but I was like, okay, cool. I could go get some coffee and maybe have breakfast. And I was like waiting for the food and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be late. And I'm like, but if I'm 3 minutes late, like is Greg and Trent, are they really gonna be like, no, you can't come in? Like what's wrong with you? So it's just like if you switch your mindset of like, yeah, I'm intending to be on time. I still was on time. But I didn't get caught in that loop of like, oh man, like I'm waiting longer for my drink and I'm going to be late or I'm not going to find parking. Well, I turned the corner and found a parking spot right there, right in the front. Like this is the square. I mean, it's hard to find parking right in the front, right? So I'm like, oh yes, awesome. Because I set that intention. I'm going to be in time. But you're right about the whole like now and present and future. That's it's just amazing when you can like switch your brain to like present moment because then you don't have the anxiety. You don't, oh man, like I missed my turn. Like really what happens if you miss your turn? You just go up to the next one, turn around, and you maybe 30, 40 seconds more to the time. I mean,
and like going, if you choose to, like, I'm congruent with like missing that turn was a blessing, even if I don't get to see how it blessed me or someone else. Like that was not an accident.
Right.
It was not an accident. Like, talking about intent. I remember one time I was like 3 minutes before I'm supposed to be where I'm at, and the ETA is like 5 minutes out, and it's like important meeting. Like I'm trying to appeal to this person.
Yeah.
And this is several years back too. And I'm like, shoot, I'm gonna be late. And then I'm just like, okay, my tools. Okay, what is your intent? My intent's to be on time. Well, naturally, my mind immediately goes to like, my intent is to be on time. But I look at the ETA and I'm like, I can't be on time. But then I think to myself, I'm like, okay, again, use these tools. Like, I can't be on time. Like, no, I am going to be on time.
Yeah.
And mathematically, logically, it doesn't
Right.
add up. But I'm like, I'm gonna be on time. That's it. And I remember this day because I didn't even know if I believed it, but I refused. I'm like, that's it. We are gonna be on time. Like, hush up.
Mhm.
And I'm 2 minutes late, 3 minutes late, get in there. And I'm like, I don't like as I'm walking in the door, I'm like, I'm gonna be on time. Okay. And I go in and they're like, oh, sorry, such and such is 5 minutes behind. He'll be here in like 2 minutes.
Right.
And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I
Right.
got it, the message. Like
Yes. Right.
tracking.
Yeah. And it's interesting that they said sorry he's late because it's like,
Right.
what? Oh, you're sorry for what? I mean,
Yeah.
everyone who has been around me for a few years know that I don't like the word sorry because it's not, he didn't intend to be late. He wasn't like, "Ooh, I'm gonna meet Greg and I'm gonna show up 5 minutes
Right,
late."
right.
That wasn't his intention. It just happened. It's just information. And people are like so apologetic. Oh, sorry this, sorry this. And I'm like, well, unless you're intending to like hurt me or like, do something specific, then it deserves a sorry. But when you're just like, sorry, I'm late, I'm like, for what? Like,
Yeah.
why did you guilt? Because sorry associates you into like you did something wrong,
Mhm.
something guilty. I mean,
Yep.
it's very like surface level, but like your conscious takes that in, and now you just have some little small guilt. I mean, maybe you don't hold on to it, maybe it's subconscious, but it's interesting how so many people say it.
Yeah. We may have chatted before. I
Yeah.
tell people replace sorry with thank you. And if you need to
Yeah.
apologize.
Yeah.
And usually people are like, sorry with thank you. So you walk in, normally you'd say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm late, which naturally forces you, like we did tie up some of their time.
Yeah.
It forces the other person to say, oh, no, that's okay. And this is why we say it unconsciously. We then take on guilt unconsciously.
Yeah.
But the whole dynamic changes if I walk in and I say, hey, thank you for being so patient.
Yeah.
The whole, like my neurology is different, their neurology is different, and
Yeah.
we're all empowered. And the energy in the room is like, let's go.
Yeah. No, I do that also in email. I think we do it in person, but in email, it's like, sorry, I didn't get back to you. Like so many people do that to me. And I'm just like, sorry to bug you. I'm like, well, one, like, are you bugging me? Like, did I tell you that? But yeah, when you say you shift the whole energy when like I said someone's name wrong yesterday in email. Like I called them Lisa instead of Lindsay.
Yeah.
And I just said, oh, we've got tons of robots, but I'm human. Thank you for your patience. Or like, thank you for, and it was just like, I didn't say sorry because I'm like, it's just a natural thing. Like, but,
well, and you're empowering the other person as well versus making them like, no, it's okay. And they're like, I mean, sure, it's okay, but like, why do I have to comfort it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I have this, check this out. So I have this like, free will. I believe in free will. And I suggest that it's much different than what most people might think it is. And so free will is like, I could do this or I could do that. I could make a decision of my own mind. I can form a decision. But what I tell people is, if I asked you to pick a number between 1 and 10 right now, whatever number you've thought of, you don't have to say it out loud, was already preconditioned. You didn't pick the number. Did you do an equation in your head? Did you logically process it?
Yeah.
The number popped up and it was a number you saw on the sign right before you walked in the door or something like that. Okay. So then where was free will in that play? All right, pause, because I believe we have free will. Most of us were not living present. So we are reacting because we are conditioning. Then the question would have to be, well, then how does one exercise free will? And I believe, like, whatever practice we go about, think when I talked about meditating, like becoming the observer of your thought. That thought is constantly happening. We cannot be conscious of it because if we were, we would not be able to be conscious of our surroundings. Because it's quite literally, I don't know how many thoughts there are, but it's more than like one per second. So if we logically saw those, we couldn't do anything else. So these are what's cueing us into the day-to-day reactions. When we can become the observer of our thoughts, we can give ourselves commands.
Yeah.
This is free will. This is presence, I believe.
Mhm.
When we can
Observer.
see what we're doing, how we're thinking, but we are outside of it.
Yeah.
We become the observer of self. I can now give myself commands and instructions.
Yeah.
Like if you were to do that, if I were to ask you, think of 1 to 10, and you were like, I was just
I already
thinking of
did. Yeah.
6,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And you're like, I was just thinking of 6, but I really like the number 3. And okay,
That's exactly what I did.
okay.
I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. I'm like, why am I thinking about this? The number's already there. Like, why do I have to change it?
And you
Yeah.
and like trust yourself. Like as
Mhm.
long as we are, I think the more we let ourselves become the observer, the more we can trust ourselves, because I watched and I know what I'm gonna do.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like if I'm always just living in the moment, it's like, man, I just make mistakes. That's not true. Only in the past you did.
Yes. And you're not going to make mistakes in the future because the future hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't happened yet, unless you need to carry that in the future.
Yeah. You know, it was interesting when you were saying that, describing the scenario. I was doing choosing the different number, but I also was noticing that I was trying to choose the number, but also not listening to what you were saying. I mean, I was listening, but not like
You only have so
really
much
listening.
bandwidth.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God. And I was the observer in that moment. Like, okay, like forget about choosing the number. Let's try to listen to what the point that he's trying to make. But it was like, that was just me being outside of the thing and saying, oh my gosh,
1000%.
like I've got 2 things going on at this time.
I have two. You had to observe yourself to see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then give yourself a command. Let the number go for now. Let's hop back
Yeah.
in the conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just doing some
Let's
woo-woo
go.
stuff today.
Okay, so what about let's talk a little bit about how long back did you start hosting events
Yeah.
specifically for presence?
Yeah. I think it's just, you know, you live it, right? It's like you're aware of how you're living. So part of the events world that I'm in is, you know, lots going on, busy event, trade show floor, lots going on, right? And I'm seeing that people are burnt out. So so I do a few different types of events. So the retreat is for more business owners, solo operators, professionals who are caught in that loop and not aware of how they are. But it's like personal leadership, presence, communication. It's very, you know, how can you be a better um, colleague, a better business owner, a better leader? And I model it after all of the things that it took me to get to be that way. So that's why I do it. But I'm bringing in, you know, my expertise in marketing, in AI, and business sense, and all of that. And then there's other people in the room that have similar expertise, but we share, but we're present there. And there's research that says if you're taken out of your normal environment, so your home office, your co-working space, your cubicle, and you're taken out of there and you actually still work on yourself, it's better. You need the rest from your routine. So it's proven. It's like people need to have these scenarios where they go to these retreats and they're intentional about being around people that want to be fully present. Now, do we practice presence in terms of meditating? Sometimes. Yeah. It just depends on the format.
Yeah.
So that's one style. And then that started in 2025, but it was really an idea from 2023 because I was in the loop of doing all the things and not present and trying to, you know, almost getting back into that hustle mode that made me burnt out. And then I took on a lot of projects and ended up like not being myself with one of my peers and not acting out, but like saying something that wasn't true to my being. And it was kind of embarrassing because I got let go from a project. And it was a pretty significant project, and she was a friend of mine, so we kind of destroyed that relationship, which was tough. But then it all happened for a reason because my dad passed away a couple months after that. So I was able to be more present with my dad because this project got off my plate.
Yeah.
So I'm realizing, oh my gosh, like if I'm not like really aligned with my business and who I am, then I'm not present for my family and my friends. And so it was like, oh my gosh, this is like I've got to focus on the presence, right? And so I was like getting back into work and stuff like that, and I'm like, but I'm not present. I'm not aligned with who I am. So I was like, I'm going to do a retreat and I'm going to invite some friends and we're going to figure out what do we really want? That was the true test of like, okay, is this an idea? We did it and my light bulb went off. I was like, this is absolutely what I need to do. I have all the experience of hosting events and logistics and putting people in a room. And I have the expertise to like also coach at the same time, and I don't like the word coach sometimes because it, sometimes people don't have the right intentions behind being a coach. I'm more of a guide, right? So I'm bringing people together. So that started in 2025 and 2027 will be our third year in a row. And it's expanded since 2025. Yeah. We had 3 people at the first one. Last year we had 6, and next year I'm setting an intention to have 11.
Let's go.
And it'll happen.
Of course.
However it happens. And then I'm realizing, back to like, okay, not everyone can go to a retreat. Not everyone has the cash flow to be able to afford that. That's a whole nother thing. Blockages and stuff like that. But I realized that we're not being present in just the small moments. You go to a restaurant, you see people on their phone, group of friends scrolling on their phone. It's kind of sad, I have been in places where people are on their phone scrolling or they're thinking about all the other things going on and they're not here with me present. So I created this little series that we're launching is the analog meetup series. So it sounds funny, analog. But everyone's searching for that analog. So we're going to the whole goal is to bring people together. What comes of that, we'll see. There's no other intention except for bring people together and put your phone down. Yeah. Put your dang phone down and be present. I have this sticker, which put down the dang phone and be present.
I love it. That's perfect.
So this will go on like, people's coffee mugs and, remind people to be present.
Visual reminder.
And the goal is there to be there, put your phone down and just talk with people. I mean, we're so lost. I love online communities. I've got friends all over the world. I'm not saying don't use your phone. It's be present with the people in the room and see what that can, what can flourish from those conversations. So I'm excited about that.
The people like those listening, considering, I'll share when I was going through NLP trainings and such, there was a period of time where I was out in Henderson, Nevada for about 6 weeks, like Airbnb, living there for 6 weeks, doing these like 12-hour day trainings and such. And so when I was going to be out there for 6 weeks, I was in real estate at the time as a single agent, and I had a full pipeline, and like, man, you can't disappear for 6 weeks. So I was like, all right, like I had the idea that I wanted to launch a team, but I had no earthly clue what I was doing. But I was like, well, let's just send it and see what happens. So literally, like, I just get with one agent and like do this thing. And this agent was new, but they were very driven and ambitious. Like I knew they were going to take care of people. So it was like all day, let's go you. And in my mind, it was like, how much can we salvage for when I get back? That was in my mind.
That set you up for what?
Well, on the flip side,
Yeah,
I'm there for 6 weeks and I'm present and we're doing all mindset work. So I forget to remind myself about the salvage.
Yeah.
When I got back, there was more money in the bank account, more clients. And this was the first time, this was back in, I think, 19. This is the first time I realized, like, before that, I thought I was the magic. So I had to do all the things.
Yeah.
when this was the first, like I
You're so
immediately
proud.
like grew it into a team after. I was like, oh, they don't need like my agents will need me, but like the process doesn't need me. The process
Yeah.
does itself.
Yeah.
But that was so I say that to say like
Well,
the people that'll be coming to your events and it's like, oh my
yeah.
gosh, I don't have the time for it. You don't have the time to not go.
Yeah.
It's gonna get worse if you don't go.
Yeah. Well, and also I think I want people to be there with that intention of wanting to be there because they may not be ready. You have
Correct.
to be open you have to have hit your minor wake up call, your big wake up call to be like, "Oh, okay. Like I need to be there."
Mm,
And I think that you can't force anyone to want to be there. And I have to remind myself of that because, it's just like any event. You want to share it and you want people to sign up, right? Like, I mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
the logistics of it is I've got to get X amount of people, but if I switch that to I will get the right people and I will get 11 people next January, then it'll happen.
100%. Absolutely.
And I'm not going to worry about it because that's future. That's not present.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I desire and why I instead of saying I say, as far as I can tell in all of my research so far, desire and pressure are the two precursors for change.
Mhm.
So both do not have to be present, but if neither are present, nothing will change. Nothing, not a plant, not a couch, not a person.
Yeah.
Pressure and desire. So here's what it looks like. Pressure for humans, in the plant world, what it looks like is the root systems getting choked out.
Yeah.
But in or something like that. In humans, it looks like loss of someone close, economic shifts, divorces, foreclosures, rehabilitation. These situations are like, and by the way, just because you had any of these, I don't know how much pressure that caused for you, but these can cause enough pressure to like, oh, I have to get away from, I have to get away.
Mhm.
Or the other side of life is like we will just go through life. And if we never have enough pressure, we don't change. The other side is I see someone else and they have or do or have become someone that I want to become.
Mhm.
And then I get desire to do something different
Yeah.
without, and it could be either one of these and it can be both. But if neither exists, if someone's like, everything's fine, no, whatever, no, I'm good,
Yeah.
they're going to stay steady Eddie for now.
Well, sometimes the pressure clouds that desire because you're caught in whatever has happened, right? Like if you lost someone close to you, your house. Well, back to this analogy of the traffic missing the turn. That's already happened. Like where are you going to from here? Obviously, you've got to if it's a foreclosure, you got to deal with all the steps, but that's already happened. Now let's deal with it. And I've come across many scenarios where it's like, okay, like these are things that might worry me, but I also will not worry about them until they're presented to me. Yes, I don't want to do certain things but if I tell myself I don't want to do that, I'm going to do it. Like
Yeah.
you can't train you're going to say, we talked about this before, I don't want that. Well, your brain,
Yeah. It's
and
going
I'm
to
going to take
remove
this
the
from what
negative.
you said, your brain doesn't compute the don't. They're still going to say I want that, right? They don't compute the negative part of that. So it's yeah, I think it's a combination of, in my eyes, what I'm seeing, the people that are showing up is it's definitely more balance between desire and pressure because they see that there is a possibility for the change and they notice certain things in, like, in my circle and what I've done, and that's through storytelling and, presence with them, and they see, but also they feel pressured from outside sources, from things happening to them and stuff like that. So
So think about like in theory, we'll all feel some pressure, but
Mhm.
like if pressure can get great enough where it forces us to change. So like my story is one of that. I'd like,
Yeah.
and then but plenty of other people, like plenty of other people,
Mhm.
and the pressure can become great enough for us to change, or the desire can become great enough. But for because plenty of almost everyone has like pressure, but if they have a lack of desire, if the pressure is not great enough, when people like we know people that like cry the woes, but then they're not taking it, but they're aware that there's pressure. These people are facing something we all face, actually, every single one of us, but they're in a slightly, their loop is a little heavier.
Yeah.
Their loop's a little heavier. Every problem that we maintain, some people are gonna be like, no, every problem that we maintain, we benefit from. Self has no enemy against self. Self is only here for survival. So the people that are complaining but not changing, they are secretly appreciating the benefit from the problem. So they have a gain that's like, I want you to tell me, because like if I don't have this problem, it could be, for example, like if I'm helpless, then I have a support network that makes sure, did you take your shower? Hey, bring the groceries over? And the day that I stand up, they'll disappear.
Their identity is attached to that problem.
In some way, they're benefiting. But now I said like these people would be like a deeper loop, but every single one of us. So for example, if I snap out on my family, the secondary gain is knowing that I am safe and my family won't hurt me. It can be totally unconscious, but I know like family hurt me. And by the way, I speak about this. I tell people I can only speak outside what's inside. This is part of my story.
Yeah.
Family hurt me. So I didn't physically harm my family, but for a period of time, I dominated my family with presence and tonality and so on and so forth. And it was pressure as in like I wanted a better connection with my family, but unconsciously, this ensures that I'm safe. If I get rid of that, I don't know how to protect myself yet.
Right. You're not open. You're not vulnerable.
Yeah.
I think that we keep up those walls, whatever they are, to be able to, feel comfortable. I mean, just like back to when I was hustling and, I still hustle, but like, I don't,
Right.
it's not like
yes.
a boast, like hustle mode, hustle culture, like stuff like that. It was like, I was comfortable with $100 in my bank. And I thought that was cool. Yeah, cool. Like I got 100, and then it dwindles down. And then I'm like, okay, I'm hustling again. Like, look, I got a little bit more, but it never was abundance. And I was like, no, this isn't right. So I had to, I had to have my wake up call. That pressure got too big and the desire was there.
Let's go.
It was
Let's
louder.
go.
The desire was louder than the pressure at that
go.
moment, and it just takes one decision. So.
Let's go.
And a bunch of decisions over the last couple of years.
All the decisions follow.
And continuing to have decisions. Yeah.
And I think that's a good point to highlight. Plenty times people are like, how do you do it? How do you stay out? Or like sometimes like I'll work with people and say, man, I still have challenges. Like I do my best to like every day tell people like I'm not a victim and I'm not carrying my challenges with me, but like life goes on, it becomes easier. We get stronger is what happens. Yeah. So it seems easier. I have to check in every day. It's because I keep doing the thing. I have less opportunities to be on the other side, but I don't have to no longer do a thing. I still have to do a thing.
Yeah. I think that's one of my friends. We do check-ins every other Wednesday, and it's a group of us. And these are people that we did the same workshop, and we've checked in. And I hate to say this sometimes because I know that COVID really affected a lot of people negatively, and sickness and death and all of that, and isolation. But because of COVID, I'm still able to meet them virtually because they used to just meet in person, and they never did virtual until COVID, and now we do virtual. They're in Canada. But if COVID didn't happen, I wouldn't be meeting with them every other week. But he says, and we remind each other, like, go back to those tools that helped you, like what, if you're feeling off, like go check in and do your meditation, or go, take a day off and go, just do something, or like go paint and make ceramics or something that like what got you to that moment of full presence, because we have to keep doing it. And I have a I have notes on my desk. I have like Post-its on my wall. Like, I'm not going to take those down because they get me right back into that moment of the check-in. And there's one that I have that I wrote in 2020 when I was deep in like lots of stuff going on in 2020, and obviously a lot of people were.
Yeah.
But mine was not related to the COVID. It was, just other things. But I wrote a note from one of my guides that said she said, write this down, and I keep it. I still have the paper from 2020. It says, there's only this moment, and this moment is perfect. Because it is. There's nothing going on that in this moment that's like has anything to do with the next moment in 5 seconds and the past 5 seconds. And I think of that all the time because it's like right there in my face on a Post-it when I wake up, or like, I have it back on the back of my iPad. Like, it's like everything is like this moment only. And I think it relates also to Eckhart Tolle. But I do need the check-ins too. So it's not just, oh, I fixed it. No, it's just keeps going.
It keeps going. It keeps going. And it's empowering and funner and fun, the further we go. Okay, so for people that are listening in, they're vibing with you.
Yeah.
Do you have what's your community group? Or like who and how can people get involved?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm on LinkedIn and sorry, what's the social media? Instagram.
There's so many.
That's
right
fully present in the moment. I was not thinking of my answer before, right?
Right. Yeah, that's good.
So I'm on LinkedIn and Instagram. I'm building the Presence Vault, which is in WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So this is one of my ethos is to be more present, obviously. So it's interesting to see how that's going to come about, because it's like, if you're part of my community, you're actually going to be more present. You're not going to be online. But we do like small meetups. We do mini retreats. We're doing one next week. And then the main retreat in January. But that's for, individuals. But I also can serve other people, small groups, if they want to do that. So yeah, I'm also building something that would be for someone individually. It's I don't know if it's an app or if it's something on your desktop or computer. I'm in the build phase, but it's definitely going to be something that's more intentional for corporate teams or leaders of small teams that are going to be wanting to know how can they get insight into where someone's at.
Yeah.
Without having a therapy session every morning when they go into work,
Yeah.
And I think, we use the word check-in, and I think people don't check in with themselves. And then also the leaders and the people that have, teams responsible, they're not checking in. Or, if I'm on your real estate team, thinking back to then, like, maybe I don't want to share where I'm at, but I think we're definitely getting more aware and more conscious of wanting to share.
Yeah.
People are wanting to do that. So yeah,
absolutely. What platform is the best if someone wants to reach out, message, and just kind of connect with you?
LinkedIn or Instagram.
Okay.
BePresent.events is where you can find me on Instagram, and then on LinkedIn it's Marisa Cali, and I have a little like universe symbol. You should be able to find me. There's a few Marisa Callis, but I think I'm the most active Marisa Cali, so it should come up.
You're like, I don't know, maybe I'm a little self-biased, but I'm the best one. I like me.
Actually, I'm friends with the other Marisa Cali. We're in similar. We have weird conversations about digital marketing and stuff like that. It's just wild that the universe has both of our names and we're both in the same industry.
And first and last name too as well. Yeah. That's really, no, obviously, normally the last name's a differentiator unless you're John Smith. Have you seen that? Scam going around? Well, let's just talk about it so that way anyone that's listening can know. I think it's been going on for just like a couple of months, but like it is like I've like everyone I know has gotten it. If you haven't gotten it, you'll
Mm.
get it soon. So you get a text message and you got a like a violation, a toll violation.
Oh,
But there's a whole document and like it has a court date and time, or you can just pay the fee. Of course, so listeners, most people might be thinking I know it's a scam, but just in case you're wondering, when you get this text, it is a scam. But the funny thing is, the judge on everyone's document is John Smith, because people post them and they're like, "Yeah,
yeah.
here's mine, here's mine, here's mine." Um,
Yeah, that's very interesting because I've gotten plenty of scam messages, and sometimes I'm not fully present. I just think it's someone actually messaging me.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like always gotta check.
Well, and the more I think like my wife's parents, like, um, just some people live more, maybe more present, more sheltered from this whole world. I say this whole world, like the hustle and bustle,
The online, like,
the on
yeah, yeah,
and so like those people are susceptible because
yeah,
it's like, oh shoot, like if you're in the mix of things, like you saw your friend got that text yesterday, oh, that's a scam already.
yeah.
Um, but yeah. But anyway,
It's a
scammers out there.
lesson to just be more present because
Let's
it'd be
go.
awesome. Like, I really wanna sometimes go back to a flip phone or, like, a phone that's not as smart.
Yeah.
I just wonder how my life would change.
Yeah.
Like, how connected I'm very connected with, like, people around the world, but would that change? Probably not. Probably not because of how intentional I am, but
Good.
we'll see. Maybe a couple days, I'm gonna buy another phone, and just a couple days, I'll have, like, a flip phone and
See
not
how it
a
works.
smartphone. Yeah.
Yeah. I do something I've done in the past, and I'll put my phone. I have this like mini tripod, like the whole tripod's like
Mhm,
this big, and I'll put my phone on that tripod on my desk,
mhm.
so that way when I grab the phone, it's on a tripod, so it's funky for me.
Yeah.
Because it is so easy to unconsciously. I've like, well, I get into my doom scrolls, my loops, like, and like
Mhm.
it happens quick. You think I'm just checking. 2 days later, you're like, oh, I'm on this app a lot more.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's real quick, and like I've caught myself like, okay, we're not getting on Facebook, and like I need to send someone a text. 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh shit, the phone went in my hand. I did the thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm very guilty of it, but you definitely get more aware and more aware if you set your intention to be more present
yeah.
because it's literally just even just saying like I want to be more present will allow you to be more present if you put that desire out.
Let's go. I love it. We're gonna have to inevitably, we'll see. Everything will be exactly as it's supposed to, but I think in the future, sometime we'll collaborate on some type of event or something like that.
Yeah, I see it in the future. Yes,
Yeah,
but I'm present right now. We'll see. We'll
yeah.
see what that looks like.
Everything will be exactly as it's supposed to be then.
Yes.
Do you have any final thoughts that you want to share with the listeners on presence and being present?
Ooh, thank you for asking me that.
Put you on a spot. What about here? Hold on, hold
I
on.
was fully present and wasn't prepared.
Good, good. Well, let me give you some context. Um, take a moment and then like what we want to give them is the listeners, what's just one simple thing that they can do, like just this simple one thing that they can just add into the routine.
Mhm.
So if you will think about that for a moment, and then for the listeners, if you were called to it, you felt it, right? That means you have desire. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not totally sure what this is. If you know what it is, this was a reminder for you. And by the way, join the events, join the tribe.
Yes.
If you felt called to this and you're like, but what? And there's so
Yeah.
much, and the anxiety immediately was felt,
Mhm.
take this with you.
Yeah. I'm gonna share my 11:11 gratitude thing, which allows me to be present in the moment at 11:11. So it was an alarm I put on my phone daily that goes off. So it pulls you into the moment at that time. And I say three things I'm grateful for every time at 11:11. Now, sometimes I'm on a phone call with a client, potential client. Sometimes I won't ask them, but if I'm in a meeting, I'll ask someone. I think we did that at our meeting the first
Probably.
time. It was, yeah, it probably happened because I was like, okay, if it's 11:11 and my phone, like it's an alarm. So it's not like a notification, it's an alarm on my phone, and it goes off and I say it, and it allows me to bring myself back into that moment, right in that moment, and be present with gratitude. And that's one thing that I can give people.
Are you open to share the three
things. It's
that,
not 11:11 yet, but we'll just
oh,
assume.
hold on. Oh, so you pick 3 things each day. Oh, got it. Totally got it.
Yeah.
I was thinking it might have been an anchored 3 things that you.
Oh, no. So
okay,
the
good,
reason why I do it every day is because it allows us to be, one, more grateful. And I think we're very susceptible to not being grateful. And, you know, around Thanksgiving, a lot of people say it, you know, I'm grateful for this. And I love that. But it's also like gratitude every day brings you back into what is great, what you're grateful for in that moment. It could be the fact that you missed your turn because
literally
there was a car accident, or, you know, like, I'm glad I missed the turn, or I'm glad I, you know,
glad I get 5 more minutes with myself and, you know, my thoughts maybe. Yeah.
One thing I said yesterday or the other day, clean water, because my mouth was dry and I took a sip of water. Well, I'm so grateful we have clean water. There's so many people that don't. And it just becomes the most simple thing that you can have gratitude for if you're doing it every day, because you don't want to say like friends, family, and my husband like every day. Yes, I am grateful for him, and I am grateful for my friends and family. But imagine if that next day you say other things, and then you have, before you know it, you have a whole week of, you know, 3 things each day, 21 things that you're grateful for. I mean,
that's good.
And 365 days. I mean, you know.
Plus, I caught on really, like, my mind went to, like, if I have to think of them, then I have to be present. If I know what they are, I can autopilot this.
Yeah.
So it really brings in the presence.
You got to do it different every day. Or you should.
Love that.
It can be multiple. It can be the same thing every day. It doesn't matter. It's what you want. But
making them different is going to bring you into presence. That's powerful.
Right.
All right. That's what we're going to leave you guys with. Make sure you like, subscribe, tell your friends about this, and we'll catch you next week for another episode.
If this hit you deep, trust that.
Your pain has power, and your story isn't over.
Follow, share, and send this to someone who you think might benefit.
I'm Greg, and this was The Power in the Pain. Keep stepping into your power.